back to The Downsized. It's Sunday, August 18th, and it's time for our weekly weigh-in. I'm Lorraine Durham, and we're here to share our progress, tips, and insights from our GLP-1 weight loss journey.
And I'm Christopher, her husband, and I'll be updating you on my journey as well. And we'll talk about what's going on in our lives this week that has impacted our progress. Of course, we'll also be sharing our weights, the ups, the downs, and everything that comes with that adventure. We're using GLP-1 medications like Mounjaro, Zepbound, Wegovy, Ozempic, tirzepatide, and semaglutide, so we'll keep you posted on how these are working for us.
But before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode of The Downsized.
And just a quick reminder, we're not doctors. Always consult a healthcare professional before starting any weight loss medication or treatment. Now let's dive into this week's progress updates and talk about how life has been influencing our adventure.
So this is the 44th week of our weight loss journey. This week I was basically flat. I was up just slightly 0.2 pounds, which I call flat. I've lost a total of 50 pounds. My starting weight was 193 pounds. My current weight is 143 pounds, so that's 50 pounds. Originally, my goal weight was 150. I got to that goal weight in 27 weeks, so I had an average weight loss of 1.58 pounds per week. In the recommended guidelines, not exactly the fastest weight loss I've ever had, but definitely the most consistent, and I believe it will be the most sustainable. So currently I'm on 7.5 milligrams of compounded tirzepatide, and that's my third week of this dose. I think 7.5 is probably going to be my maintenance dose for right now. I had gone all the way up to 12.5. And I hit my goal weight, and then I started coming back down every 4 weeks. I got down to 5 milligrams, and I had a lot of food noise and wanted to eat a lot. I don't think 5 milligrams was strong enough, so I went up to 7.5, and that's what I've been doing now. I use Mochi Health is my online provider. I use compounded tirzepatide. I've used them since February, and I'm very pleased with the online doctor that I see and with the Mochi Health customer service. So if you'd like to try out Mochi Health, you can use my Mochi Health discount code for $40 off your first GLP-1 order. My code is QIYGO8. And when you use my code, you save $40 and I save $40. So everybody wins. How about you, Christopher?
You know, it was an exciting week for us, and we'll talk about all the things we have going on. I started out in September. We both started at the same time. My starting weight was 285.4 pounds, and as I say, it was rapidly ascending at that point. I could see 300 in sight, and that was terrifying, honestly. My current weight is 209.8, so for those of you who remember last week, that's exactly the same, so flat, which I don't count as bad because I was actually up about 2.5 pounds 2 days ago for moving children into college and fast food and all the fun that there is. So that puts me down 75.6 pounds since September 29th of last year. My current dosage is at 15 milligrams, which is the 8th week of that dose. I started on compounded tirzepatide, went after working with my local doctor, great guy, a lot of blood pressure, cholesterol, all kinds of other things I wanted to monitor really closely, and they were open to the conversation. I switched to Mounjaro with them, then due to shortages and the approval of Zepbound for obesity, switched to Zepbound. And now, due to shortages as well, I'm back to compounded tirzepatide. I currently have a prescription for both compounded tirzepatide and Zepbound. So I actually have both in the refrigerator right now. Yeah. You just never know. You got to stay in stock. It was an interesting week. If you follow along, Mochi had some issues with Hallandale, and for whatever reason, they split apart. We got our first shipment from Red Rock. I took the first dose from Red Rock this week at 15 milligrams, and it hit me. I haven't had fatigue from it, I don't think, since 7.5, and I took the shot at lunch, and I was asleep by 2 o'clock. I went out and
ran some errands. I came back and he was asleep. So Red Rock is a compounding pharmacy, just like Hallandale. Red Rock mixes up their formula a little bit more concentrated.
With those 2 doses, so at 12.5 and 15 milligrams, it's more concentrated. There's less liquid.
So you're actually injecting about half the liquid we were before. I don't know. It just seemed to hit you harder. I don't know. Do you feel any different, like food-wise or food noise or
No, I mean,
appetite suppressant?
No, here's the thing. I always caution people are like, well, this week and that. I must have had water or whatever. I think it was probably me more than the medication.
Well, I mean, we were pretty worn out when we got home on Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, do I think that the medication was different? No, probably not. I think it was me. And one week, ask me again next week and we'll.
Yeah, so we had a lot of activity this week. We moved both of our daughters into college. So we were very, very active, moving boxes, building
Driving.
dressers, driving all across
I think I drove 9
all
hours
across
in 2
North
days.
Carolina. Yeah, we were a little tired, so that probably went to that.
Yeah, anyway, but it seems to be working. So I had a little more fatigue. I have a little bit of the dry mouth that I haven't had in a while.
Oh, yeah?
Early on, I had the
I've
dry
never
mouth.
had that one, but you've had that.
But I don't really have any food noise. I haven't gotten the fullness that I got early on for a while now. I mean, I get full, but early, I think the first 3 doses, I was like full.
After 2 bites.
Yeah, immediately. It's not like that
Couldn't
now.
eat much at all, yeah.
But I still eat less. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And my weight loss has definitely slowed as I've lost weight, targeting about 190. So I'm about
20 pounds.
20 pounds away, and it's
19
definitely in the 1 to 2 pound range, whereas early on I was sometimes 3, 4, even 5 pounds a week early on. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Slows down as you get closer to your goal.
No complaints there.
Usually. Yep.
Let's see. We always like to invite you to be on the Downsized Dish. We actually have a number of openings right now. So if you've got some time, I'd love to talk to you. Tell them about that, Lorraine.
I talked to people, and so does Christopher, at all different points in their weight loss journeys, and we put the interviews out here on our channel for other people to watch and learn from and get tips from. And I find that it's really helpful to hear what other people have done and how other people have navigated these medications. We talk to people who have been on semaglutide, Wegovy, Ozempic, Rybelsus, Mounjaro, Zepbound, so all the GLP-1s. And I learn something new every time I talk to someone who is taking one of these medications. And we'd love for you to come on. So if you're interested, send me an email to ldurham@folio28.com. And I'll send you a link to our calendar and get you signed up for a time. We'll talk for about 30 minutes. A couple of people have reached out, and I had them scheduled, and they said, oh, no, I changed my mind. I don't want everybody to know. It's up to you. My point of view is I will tell anyone and everyone, and obviously we have, because
Here we are.
here we are telling all the world. It can be a little awkward or unnerving to tell a close friend or a family member that, yeah, I'm taking a GLP-1 medication, because then they have the list of questions and you get the looks and you...
And we certainly understand everybody's in a different place on this in their life, and we respect that.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to come on and have the conversation, please, we would love to have you join us.
Yep.
What were we up to this week? We teased it already.
Okay, so we have 2 daughters. One is this year a sophomore in college, and one this year is starting as a freshman in college. And we figured out that our younger daughter had to move in at 1 o'clock on Thursday, and our older daughter had to move in at 8 a.m. the next day, Friday. And of course, they're not going to the same school.
They're going 3 hours apart.
So we went from our house to Raleigh, North Carolina, which is about 3 hours away, in a caravan of 3 cars. Because our daughter, who's a freshman, the school she's going to has over 30,000, I was going to say employees, students. Students. So most freshmen aren't allowed to bring their car because there's nowhere to park. But you can enter a lottery, and about 200 freshmen out of the 5,400 freshman class are granted a parking place. And she got a parking place, which we didn't find out till, last week? And so we said, I guess we'll be driving your car as well. So Christopher had rented a U-Haul, so we canceled that. Anyway, drove 3 cars to Raleigh, moved in our daughter there into her dorm room, and I spent the night there with her in Raleigh, and Christopher and our other daughter drove that same day to Boone. Spent the night in Boone, and then they had to move in our daughter in Boone at 8 a.m.
Yes.
into her new apartment that she is sharing with 3 other people that she's just meeting now for the first time this week. And so I got up Friday morning, and then I drove 3 hours. So by the time I caught up with Christopher, they had unloaded most of everything.
And the challenge of it wasn't, it started earlier than that. The challenge of it was my 2 daughters are fabulous, wonderful, intelligent, beautiful, the whole 9 yards, and they're very different. So I have one, the younger one, who is planning and organized and prepared, and everything is she wishes. Everything is to the T. She is ready. She was packed 2 days before. The other one hates packing, procrastinates, got up late,
made us
so
late
we were having to
leave.
physically help her pack everything, which she fought with every ounce of her being.
She just didn't want to pack until the last minute.
So,
and
you know, it was an entire,
here.
I don't know, last 2 weeks of getting ready for this, in addition to the fact that now young ladies need entirely decorated rooms that cost
Millions
crazy
of
amounts
dollars.
of money.
Yes.
And they want to debate over the color palette, and I don't care.
It has to all be coordinated.
Yeah, I think
and the wall art has to match the bedspread, has to match the
Yeah, it's a lot. So,
pillows. So that,
and I think I moved into college with a bed in the bag from J.C. Penney's that was like navy blue and like Trapper Keeper notebook, and I was ready to go.
we have a friend, a family friends, a group of family friends who have a son who is going to the same college in Raleigh as our daughter, and she sent us a picture of his room last night, and I just laughed because it's like, was all black and white, very basic, bed, comforter, desk, done. And I'm like, oh girl, be glad you have a boy, because then I sent her the pictures of our 2 daughters' rooms, and she was like, oh my goodness, there was so much stuff. And we had to get them little portable dressers and a rolling carts and posters, and I don't even know. And then our one in the apartment just had to have all the bathroom stuff because she had her own bathroom.
Anyway, so all of that to be said, it just doesn't set up great eating habits when you're traveling back and forth and moving children. So there's fast food and Chick-fil-A biscuits and all of these things, which are fine. You know, it is what it is, but it certainly wasn't the best eating week for me.
Yeah, down the road to Raleigh, we stopped at McDonald's because younger daughter, they have some McDonald's cups that she wanted, and she wanted one for her dorm room. So we're like, okay, McDonald's, which I don't mind McDonald's because I can get a double cheeseburger, and I know that it has a lot of good protein in it. And I get a little small fry and a Diet Coke, and we don't eat that every day, but every once in a while I think it's okay. And then what did we eat for dinner? Oh, we found a Mexican type of place in Raleigh. It wasn't really Mexican. They also had sushi and steak, and
because they were really from Argentina. It was actually good food.
it was really good.
It was very fresh, but it was a strange restaurant.
Yeah, I think I had a chicken quesadilla. What'd you have there?
I think I had tacos. I had pesto.
You had tacos, yeah. So not bad choices. I didn't want to sat. Like, we had been going all day, and I needed like a margarita and some food. So that's what I got. And then when I got up the next morning, and so I was like, well, I want to go down in the hotel because I know they'll have yogurt. I want a yogurt. I want to grab a banana or a piece of fruit for the drive. So then we got some Chick-fil-A too. And then I left. And what'd you guys eat? You guys had Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
That's what you wanted. So it's,
Chick-fil-A. And then for lunch, actually, I think we ended up with another burger for lunch the next day, a local place in Boone. You had a grilled chicken sandwich.
No, it was a fried chicken sandwich.
You had a fried chicken sandwich. I had another
delicious, though.
cheeseburger, which was good, and I got their sweet potato chips that they make
I was
there.
up 2.5 pounds 2 days ago.
I was flat. I don't know. I worked out several days before we went. We were walking a lot. I took my big water. I almost left this in the hotel room. We had checked out. I was in the car. I was like, "I water." I had to go back and get it. So yeah, I usually travel with this in the car. I fill it up with ice and water, and it was good to come back to, like when we're hot and moving the cars around and unloading and doing all the things. And then we were in Boone, and we left Boone about, 5?
Yep.
And there was a thunderstorm coming, so we had to get the heck out, get down the mountain.
The radio's like buzzing everywhere.
Yeah. Morning, and we're like,
Biblical proportion winds.
so I think I'll stop in Wilkesboro and get. I'm like, do not stop. We have to go.
It would have been fine. It needed gas.
Yeah. So by the time we got home, I wasn't hungry. I think you made a sandwich or some eggs or something.
I made some eggs, yeah.
And I don't know. I ate a banana and went to bed and took a shower and went to bed.
Anyway, and all of that, and this week was a big week for the YouTube channel, and we had lots of good stories, all kinds of stuff going on, of course, with Eli Lilly and the shortage, and late the day before we were set to move them out, the FDA commented on the shortage, so I was like, I'm going to film a video Thursday morning before we left, so I did and popped it up, and you guys loved that, and there's all kinds of conversation going on around that, and our interview with the little Lisa went live, and you guys loved that as well, which is great. Again, sign up, reach out if you'd like to do an interview. We'd love to have you. So it's been a big week.
Yeah, I'm just mentally exhausted and just physically exhausted, and
Now it's a quiet house. I don't like it, honestly.
the cat keeps walking around meowing, going, "Where's the girls? Where's everybody? There's no one here to play with me." Yeah, so now we've downsized a little bit more. And yeah, tonight we're going out with some friends to celebrate a friend's birthday. That's today. Happy birthday, Shelley. So we're going to do that. I have no idea. I haven't looked at the menu. Usually when we go out to eat, I think you've looked at the menu. I like to look at the menu, scope out, and figure out in advance what I want to get.
There's a fish you'll order.
A fish. Yeah, I usually get fish when we're out because I find that's just the lowest calorie choice. What are you going to get?
Maybe the fish. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that should be good. We're just going to get back to our regular routine this week. And we'll be around here for a couple weeks, and then in September we've got
A couple of cruises.
2 weeks worth of cruises planned because we figured when we booked them, we figured the girls will be gone and we'll be sad, so we'll go on vacation.
Yeah.
So we're going to fly, and we're going to fly with our shots. So that should
Sail out of Miami.
interesting. Yeah, we're sailing out of Miami.
And I mean, my thought is I want to, with the girls not here, it makes it easier to cook because they have things they eat, things they don't eat.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'd like to double
Anything,
down
really.
and kind of get this last 20 pounds taken care of and get to maintenance. And
Yeah, well, we figured we'd eat through our freezer too, since we just spent like $2.5 million on the girls' rooms and setting them up in their rooms. We're just gonna clean some things out, and like last night, I don't know, you found some shrimp in the freezer and
Yeah.
made a shrimp and pasta, garlic, tomatoes. I don't know how he does it. He just puts things together. Was it the best thing you ever made? No, it was not. Was it okay? Yes, it was. I thought
Yes,
the
it was
shrimp
fine.
were good. That pasta I probably wouldn't get again, but
it was in the cupboard. And we
No,
don't
I
need
know.
enough pasta to matter anyway.
yeah,
so
it was that shelf-stable pasta from Aldi, like the little raviolis.
They have it other places too.
Yeah, I would not get that again.
But I mean, the people ask all the time, well, do you eat? What do you eat? Where do you not?
Yeah.
I'm carb free. I'm whatever. We're not anything free. We'll eat anything. We just
no, I
adjust
just
the
eat
amount we
less.
eat. So
Yeah.
pasta's I never have a plate of pasta anymore. That's not it. It'll be a side to it. It's not the main part of the meal. So you
Yeah.
can eat anything you want. Just
Yeah.
manage those calories and that expectation.
Yeah, I don't like to cut out any foods because I like basically all foods except cottage cheese. But you know what? I really haven't eaten cottage cheese
In forever.
as an adult. I don't think my mom just made me eat it on so many diets as a child or teenager or whatever.
Well, you have, because I've subbed it in lasagna when we didn't have ricotta before, and you didn't
I
know.
don't mind it
It's
in
fine.
that. I don't know. Maybe I should try it again.
And most of these recipes blend it out, so it loses that texture that you don't care for. Then it's just a neutral,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to find things in the pantry. Like yesterday for breakfast, I made some Quaker oatmeal. Not in the packet. I don't get the packets anymore because they have too much sugar. I get the round container of the oatmeal, but I make it in the microwave. And I made it, instead of water, I used a cup of Fairlife milk. So Fairlife milk has more protein than regular milk, and I forget how much, and I don't want to say the wrong number. Cloakster. I think it's around 15.
Cloakster, you need to do an interview.
I think it's around 15 grams of protein. And the oatmeal had a little bit of protein. You add the Fairlife milk. I threw in some blueberries, put it in the microwave. Delicious.
And a little bit of carbs are good for you, I think.
And this morning for breakfast, we had some eggs. So I had 2 eggs, and I had a chicken sausage. I got at Aldi. It's one of those.
They sell those everywhere.
I chopped that up, and then I almost couldn't eat all the chicken. It was too much.
One of the reasons that we're called the downsized is we recognized that we were at the point in our life where we were downsizing as far as weight went, but we were also downsizing as far as our kids going off to college, maybe someday even a different house. Who knows? Not today. But it's just a different period of our life. Hopefully it'll make some interesting content too.
Yeah. If you guys are taking a kid to college out there, shout it out in the comments, and
Yeah.
we can start another group where we cry together about our children being gone, or celebrate our children being gone, as the case may be. I remember when they went to kindergarten, I was big into the PTA, and we would have
She was the PTA president. So.
when they were in elementary school, that
Yes.
was a long time ago. But we had a Boohoo/Yahoo breakfast. So you drop the kids off at kindergarten, and then you'd come to the cafeteria, and we'd have breakfast for those parents. And they'd either say Boohoo or Yahoo, as the case may be, or a little bit of both. So I think we're a little bit of both.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's us for this week. It's life. So it happens every day, thank goodness.
Life does happen every day.
Anyway, so on to, the next phase. It should be exciting. So if you haven't already, this is her forlorn look here. I'm a girl dad and not ashamed of it.
What does that mean?
That means I miss my babies.
Oh, of course.
And my girl dad t-shirt is way too big now. So
Oh, I'll have to get you another one. I got them for Father's Day. I got them a t-shirt that says Girl's Dad, or Girl Dad. That was a couple
and
years
it's
back.
like a dress
Now it's big.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get you another one. I went to Goodwill yesterday. I took some clothes to Goodwill, and so then I was flipping through the racks, and I found some AG jeans. Do you guys know what those are?
I've never heard of these.
So in my former life, I used to be a clothing buyer, so I worked for a couple different retailers and at one point bought jeans was my area that I would buy for the store. So I learned a lot about denim and where it comes from and designer jeans and what they look like. So anyway, I found these designer jeans in the Goodwill that are like $200 jeans in a size 6. And I didn't even try them on. I just brought them home and I put them on.
probably
and I
paid
went
$15.
$8.
Hey, that's about what they're worth.
They were $7.50 at the Goodwill, and they're like, "Do you want to round up for blah blah blah?" I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So they were $8.
That's about what they're worth, so that's good.
No, they're worth more than that.
Well, I wouldn't pay $200 for them.
Well, no, I'm not going to pay $200 for them, but I found a lot of good stuff at our Goodwill. They had a lot of Halloween stuff in there, and it's August. There's Halloween stuff.
Everybody starts earlier. So the other thing was we published our cruise tips video. I can tell you based off of views that not as many people care about cruising as care about GLP-1s, but there's still talk about GLP-1s in there. So take a look, and I think there's certainly information that you could apply to other kinds of vacation and travel.
Yeah.
So take a look. We think it's interesting. If you have any questions or thoughts on that, please leave us a comment.
Yep.
And then if you haven't already, please make sure to check out our website, the downsized.org, and our GLP-1 companion product store, where My lovely bride, Lorraine, has curated a collection
me.
of things. Tell them about that, Lorraine.
Yeah, so on it's thedownsized.org is our website.
Yes, I
and
bet.
I was just reiterating to make sure they got the because you have to put thedownsized.org.
Yep.
Very important. So I have stuff like a link to my big cup. I have stuff like a link to Mago 7 that I use for constipation, my fiber gummies, some protein powders and bars that I like.
Ninja Creamy.
Ninja Creamy. But I would get your Ninja Creamy at Kohl's when they have Kohl's Cash and you have a coupon because that's your best bet. Anyway, if you need one right now, you can get one on Amazon and they'll probably have it to your doorstep in,
An hour.
you can just think it almost and it arrives right at your doorstep. So yeah, it's just stuff that I like, stuff that I've used. We make a small commission as Amazon affiliates. And we also have, if you want to see my weight loss tracker, you can download a free copy of my weight loss tracker
You go to the resource page.
on the
It's
resource
there.
page. So I like to keep track of my weight, what dose I'm on, what week it is, how much I lost, if I had any side effects or whatever. So I just like to keep track of those things so I can remember because my memory it's not great. It's not what it used to be. So
It hasn't ever been good.
I blame
so.
my children. That's it. That's it for this week's weigh-in. Do you have anything else to add?
No.
All right. So we hope our updates and experiences give you some insights out there and maybe even, dare I say, some motivation for your journey. Although I don't feel very motivating right now, but that's right. You know what? It's life. We keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And remember, whether the scale moves up or down, it's all part of the process. We're in this together, and every step forward counts. So, and as always, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're always in the loop.
Thanks for being a part of the Downsize community, and we'll see you next week.
Until then, take care and stay well.